Tina.com. Hey, Connie, got my best friend hanging out in the back there. Today, we're going to just go with the flow. The book that has come to me today to share from is called Faithing It by Cora James Coleman. We're going to do a little bibliomancy. We're going to see what I get to, but I'm kind of also feeling doing an intuitive reading from my Romance Angels deck and my Psychic Tarot, but we will see what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. During the reading, I may understand, you may not. You may understand, I may not. We both may understand during the reading, or we both may not understand during the reading. I'm going to ask that you respect my perspective, and I will also respect your perspective as well. If the information that you're receiving is different from the information I'm providing, it's quite all right. Please share the message because it may be for me or someone else. Please do not use these readings as a form of therapy or advice. You've been blessed with the gift of discernment. So take the information you need and throw the rest away. Okay. So I just feel like I'm gonna share with y'all what I have going on in the back here, right? Some people will call this an altar. I just call it a table of my things, but we can also call it an altar depending on what that means to you. A couple of things I have on my altar. One is my book, right? Iniquity Album by Tina Wolf. You can purchase that on Amazon. Just type in Iniquity Album by Tina Wolf, and it is a series of short stories and poems that I created based off of my life. They are erotic poetry. All right. So you can jump into that. Let's see here. I have these little cards that I kind of made up once upon a time, right? Let's go ahead and pull one just for the heck of it, right? They're just intuitive cards. A friend of mine, she had sent me these and she was like, hey, or she gifted them to me and said, hey, you can create your own cards with them. And I was like, okay, cool. And I started and I never finished the rest of them. But let's see what today's shuffle is. So we got two of them. The first one I pulled is create boundaries, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and sexual, which works out. Let me see if I can get closer. There we go. Which works out perfect because coming out of faithing it, I'm pretty sure we're going to get some great, wonderful information on all of that. I'm just going to put that right there. And then the next one is learn the lesson and move forward. Learn the lesson and move forward. Both of those to me are appropriate. So this, what I have on there is a little reminder. Okay. This is when I was a massage therapist. I was the toy. I was the therapist of the year. So I keep that there as a reminder that I always have the ability to do wonderful things. And then shout out to my homie, T, S is in Sam, F is in Frank, C is in cat, C is in cat, .biz, right? This is my homie Gerald. I asked him to create a candle specifically for me. I gave him specific aromas that I desired, and I named it Love Me Tenfold. And I still have a bunch of these, right? You can still go and you can order from him, right? This thing is empty, but I keep it there because this was one of the very first candles that I had customized for myself, and it also links to my best friend who decided she was going to create candles, which I also have her candles, but since she has transitioned, I'm saving them for a very, very special day. But he also helped my friend to get her business started. I started burning this one day, and then I just left it as a white candle. Thought it looked good, nothing significant. But white to me does represent change and transition and color and moving forward, right? This here, my little dog, right? That's his little hair, little puppy, red is his color. Shout out to him. All right. They have these candles, and when I tell you this, the smell of this candle is amazing. It's so amazing that I did not want to throw it away. It's sandalwood and myrrh, and as we all know, sandalwood and myrrh has its own little great, wonderful properties. This was a gift. It says, "This is Natasha Denise, virtual assistant and notary." She is a mobile bartender. I'm also saving that for a special thing. Her website is cocktails with a Z and curves with a Z. And it says bymztee.com. All right. So I keep that there just for a little special stuff. And I didn't even realize this had fallen over. Uh-oh. I didn't realize this had fallen over, but this is little puppy's paw. He's such a sweet guy. So It's just a little homage to him. And then back here in the back, I have a picture of my aunt and I back here in the aunt, and it just represents um, family, right? Let me put this on here. There we go. To me, it just represents family. This is a representation of all the family. Even though it's a picture of me and my aunt, it does represent family, and she gifted that. That was wonderful. And then I have all my crystals and stones. I've got my dollar here for abundance and money. I got some other stuff under there. Apparently, I don't know what I wrote, but I put a note and I set it and forget it is what I call it. So I'm just going to let it sit there. And when the time is right, I'll go and check it out. So you guys, if you have an altar or you have an area where you kind of pay homage to different people, different things, also make sure that you put something on that altar that is also representing you. That's why I have my books up there. That's why I have my candle up there, right? Because you are a part of your success. You're a part of who you are, and you need to acknowledge who you are as well, not just other people. All right. All right. So let's get into faithing. Let's see what Miss Cora has to do. Now I'm going to be utilizing bibliomancy, which is just you're going to just be open and see what the message of the day is. I'm not asking any questions today. I'm just going with the flow. Let's see. Ooh, so it opened up to the spirit of adoption. So let's see what messages lie in here. All right, it says the spirit of adoption. It is at this stage of adolescence growth that a child decides whether or not to adopt the parent. Seriously, we know God is good, and we may even call him quote unquote father, but we have allowed that spirit of adoption to flood our souls until nothing and no one delights us like Father God. Maybe we don't need him in the same way we did when we were first born again, but we still need him. He needs us. He wants us. God says to us, delight yourself in me and I'll give you the desires of your heart. No one knows us like Father God. No one. Sometimes we abandon our destiny because we wander off looking for other amusements and delights. God's purpose and dream may fade into the background as we pursue other interests. If that's you, ask God right now to restore you back to his dream and his purpose for your life. If you do not identify your promise, purpose, or dream, then you don't know what you're fighting for. Do you delight in the Lord? Is your time with God the highlight of your day? There's so much power and purpose generated when we set aside time to delight in God. Of course, we have to stop communicating horizontally via Twitter, Messenger, Snapchat, Facebook, text, and emails. But if we will lie all that aside and listen, God wants to say something to us. I'm going to stop right there for just a second. And I thought, oh my God, this is so relevant. For the last about, I'll say few weeks to maybe like a month, I have this saying. I've been trying to get it straight in my brain. So pardon me if I say it and re-say it and say it and re-say it, right? My purpose is to help others. Not helping others is my purpose. And I am reinforcing that and imprinting that because that is something that I feel that I need to remember. It was a revelation that came to me during a time when I was like, I'm trying to figure out what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? What am I supposed to be doing? I want to help people, right? A lot of people that want to help people, we do acknowledge that it is our purpose to help people, but sometimes we get lost in translation with helping people, and then we forget that we're supposed to be living in our purpose. Our purpose is not to fix. Our purpose is not to repair. Our purpose is to just be, right? I was sharing this. I've shared this with a couple people, and I shared it last night. I feel as though when I am living in my purpose, I can always tell, like to me, God puts me on this journey, and I can always tell when it's time to move on to the next thing. Because when I say, I started off working on, let's just say, my numerology project course, right? It'll be making a comeback. But my numerology project course, at the time that I started that course, I needed to help people that needed to know who they were at a deeper level by utilizing a new method. So I studied that method for a period of time. I quickly transitioned that into a class. I learned more about myself along the way because that's what I like doing. I like learning along the way while I'm teaching others, right? Um, what I learned from this professor in my class and in my speech teacher, I wish I could remember his name, God bless him. I was like, anyway, but what I learned from him is he said, you know what? I know you think I know all of this stuff, but I just stay 2 chapters ahead on the assignment. And that's all you have to do. Sometimes you don't have to have absolutely everything you need. You don't have to have this certification. You don't have to have this certain thing. Tina, sometimes you just have to stay 2 steps ahead, right? I stay 2 chapters ahead. He said, if you stay 2 chapters ahead of everything in your life and ahead of others, then it gives you a sense of confidence, and also it places you in the position of knowing more than the person that is sitting in front of you. It's not saying that you know more than them in an arrogant way, but it's saying that you offer them a quality of leadership, right? And I never looked at it like that, right? I would stress myself out. Oh my God, I got to complete this whole entire program before I start something. No, sometimes it's good to just go ahead and start exactly where you are, right? Um, okay, this is coming in to me. So in speech class, sticking with speech class, we're just gonna go with the flow, like I said. Um, we had to all do a speech on something that we were well versed at and that we knew and that we were excited about. A lot of people in the class knew that I was intuitive, and they also knew that I knew about crystals and stones. Some people feared me because they had no knowledge on the subject. And then some people embraced me, right? And then there were some that were just neutral. So I had to do this 5 minute speech on crystals and stones, why I love them, why they are useful in your life, and all of that. By the time I got done with my speech, right, I actually finished it a couple minutes early. I was like, okay. Nobody clapped. People just stared at me. I felt so uncomfortable. And it was like the longest 30 seconds of my life. And I was like, okay, I'm done. You know, in that moment, I didn't know if I had done good. I didn't know if, what I said was scaring people, if what I was saying was overwhelming to them. Like, I just didn't know what to think. And so my teacher, my speech teacher, he was in the back and he was just smiling. He goes, I said, y'all ain't gonna clap or nothing? And then he said, yeah, and then everybody kind of started slow clapping, like. And so after class, he called me to the back and he said, are you okay? I said, no, I don't. I said, I thought I did a really good job. And this is the part of me that I had been working on. And unknowingly, I was seeking approval, right? I was seeking approval of the people that I was talking to. I didn't know, I lacked confidence of how to be confident in myself and confident in what I was saying, right? And I looked for that approval from others. He said to me, Tina, he said, I don't know what you were feeling when you were standing once you were there and you were done. He said, but let me tell you what happened. For one, you gave us much information, not overload, but you gave us just enough information to give us something to talk about. You also gave us a testimonial. He said, it was almost like we were in church. And by the time you got done, we're paralyzed. We were paralyzed with your speech. And the reason why we're paralyzed with your speech is because you just fed us all of this stuff and we were still trying to digest it. So when he said that, it actually made me feel good. He said, always feel confident about the information that you're giving. He said, all the information, he says, I don't really study crystals and stones. He said, but after today, I want to learn more. And then, when I went outside, some of my classmates were actually waiting for me, and they were like, can you hook me up with some of these crystals? Because I need crystals for this, and I need crystals for where can I get these things? And here I was thinking that people weren't listening to me. I thought people didn't respect me. I didn't think they respected what I did. I thought, oh my God, like I've just exposed myself vulnerably and nobody has nothing positive to say, when it was quite the contrary. Right? It's kind of contrary. Um, I'm going to leave that message there for whoever needs it. What I'm feeling is time waits for no one. Sometimes you just have to move on with what you have, right? Getting back to purpose, right? My purpose is to help others. Not helping others is my purpose. What I mean by that is, I know that in order to do what I am here to do, to me, I feel that I am here to help heal people in my own way, utilizing verbiage, utilizing visualization, utilizing various tools and techniques. I feel like that's what I am here to do, to help those that desire help. Those that come to me, they come to me for a specific purpose. I don't chase anybody down. I don't be like, you got to do this. I don't chase anybody. People come to me, right? But I notice whenever there is a shift and change where I start feeling like I don't have a purpose unless I have people to help, that is where things can fall apart. And this is where, no matter what business you are, no matter where your personal life is, if you start living for people and you start feeling like you have to fix people, and you start feeling like that your only purpose is to serve others and that's it, and you have no other purpose, when there is nobody around, what do you do with yourself? What do you do with yourself? So I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm going to flip, right? I'm going to flip. Let me go to the back. Okay. I love this. She says, the bigger your mess, the bigger your message, right? You are a faither. You are a faither, and you will accomplish great things for God through your faith. Now, I'm going to share with you what my definition of faith is. Faith is belief that something is going to happen. Faith is belief in myself and knowing that something is going to happen in the future. And it is also belief in myself and knowing that something is going to happen in the future, including my higher power. That's what faith is to me. I had to break it down because so often I would hear the word faith and people were like, have faith, have faith, have faith. And then they have this verse, which I cannot recall right off the rip, but basically having something about things that are unseen. If you know what that verse is, you can put that in there. But for me, what it represents is you have to you have to have faith in yourself first. And the reason why you have to have faith in yourself first, the reason why you have to believe that something is going to happen in the future first, is because these things are coming to me and I don't even know how it says, but I think it's like something about faith without works or whatever, right? But basically what that represents to me is that if I don't believe that something's going to happen in the future, what am I praying for it for? Right? You have to have that intention on what you're praying, meditating, and asking for in your life. And once you have that part figured out, then you can say, okay, God, this is what I need your help with. Can you touch this? Or as I tell my friends, can you Jesus robe this? Right? Remember the lady that touched Jesus robe because she just wanted a little bit of that energy? That's kind of like how I feel, right? So it says, and let's read to see, I am grateful for the gifts in you because your gifts make room for the next generation to follow and birth their gifts. I am grateful that you have tapped into God's power. Your power will give you the key to greatness, and you will be able to give the generation behind you the key to the power within them. You are not alone, for God is with you. He is standing for you, with you, and in you, and all you have to do is open the door to receive it. Be able to receive as well as you give, and get in the habit of loving yourself the way God would have you to be loved. You know when you are mistreating yourself and not loving yourself enough. Love you enough so that you can love others, but also allow people to love on you. You are destined for greatness, so be willing to accept yourself as God sees you. If God calls you a ruby, stop acting like a cubic zirconia. If God calls you priceless and made in his image, stop living like you aren't good enough and feeling bad for yourself. Okay? It says, the father says to you, the father says, rise up, my daughter, arise, my son, and come forth into destiny that I have prepared for you. Cast your cares on me. I am prepared to carry your weight. Do not worry about the weights of the world. I will figure this out and pave the way for you. Reach for what you desire, and it shall be yours. Walk in peace, for it is yours. Don't show the enemy your doubts. Show him my authority. Trust me as you have trusted yourself. Lean on me as you have leaned on yourself. Depend on me as you have depended on yourself. And I will shift your mindset so that you are able to tap into the true calling and authority that rightfully belongs to you. I am that I am, and I am all that you need. So trust not only in yourself, but trust in your higher power as well. Let's go to the Psychic Tarot deck, okay? Matter of fact, we're going to go to the Romance Angels deck. Right? We're going to go to the Romance Angels deck. So if you are having a troubling time with faith, right? And you don't know how to release worry, or you feel like, I need to be living in my purpose. And I thought being in your purpose was doing for others, and I do for others. But if doing for others is not leaving you and leading you to having a balanced life, then there's something else that you should be looking at, right? So if you want to live in your purpose, here are some things that you have to do for yourself, because Cora talked about in there that God wants us to love ourselves, right? So let's see, what does he want us to love? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is what he wants us to love. For one, it says this could be the one. I'm not going to read into that. Be playful, right? If you're serious all the time, how are you going to bring balance into your life? All right? Love yourself first. These are things that God, qualities that God wants you to do. Love yourself first. Children, make sure that you have a mind of innocence, is what I'm hearing. For some of you, make sure you have a mind of innocence. Innocence does not mean gullible. Innocence does not mean let me let people run over me. Innocence does not mean that. Innocence means have an open mind to things that are for your highest good, right? Also, pay attention to children that are in your space, especially today, tomorrow, and the next day. For the next 3 days, pay attention to children that come across your path. Are you noticing children that are having tantrums? Are you noticing children that are happy? What do children look like when they look at you? Do they act like they're scared? Are they happy to see you? Like, what are the responses of the various children? That's going to tell you a lot about yourself, because children, they don't have a filter, right? If you look scary to them, even if they think that you're happy, think about why do you think that child is giving? What is it that they are seeing, right? Because we're all of us at some point, in some degree, we are empathic, right? And so we can feel the emotions of other people, especially children. They're wide open, right? Especially if they don't have adults and teachers and people, teaching them how to protect yourself from energy. So that's why when sometimes a kid looks at you, they're like, or you have that kid that doesn't want to go to somebody, or you have kids that run up to complete strangers and you're like, what the hell? Because they see something that you don't. So make sure that the children that are in your space, that come into your space, that you are paying attention to those children. What are they doing and how are they responding to you? If they are responding to you in a way that you feel that is negative, right? Then start working on yourself. Don't be offended by the kid. It's not personal. just that's something that I need to work on, right? And then God also wants you to remember you deserve love, right? So now we're going to go back to this could be the one, and we're going to read out of the book because I'm not even going to attempt to try to read um, what that is about. This could be the one. And remember, we're talking about faithing it, right? Talking about faithing it, having faith, being in your purpose. And remember, my purpose is to help others, not to help others is my purpose, right? Remember that. All right, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Now, remember, this could be with family, friends, coworkers, or romantic mate, depending on what it is. So I feel like these are people. This card so far is talking about this could be the one. This is going to be a representation of people that are your tribe, representation of people that are your group. You're going to meet a whole new set of people, and you're going to have to let some of these old people go. Some of the old people that you're letting go. Okay, so let me explain what letting go means. Letting go doesn't mean pushing out and getting rid of forever. It means making room for the new people that are going to bring new balance and new opportunities into your life. Those opportunities being love, those being career, those being friendships, there being new family, right? And it doesn't mean that the people that have been there for you, you kick them to the curb. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is letting them go to be able to flourish in the space that they need to flourish. And while you're flourishing and blossoming, if they are flourishing and blossoming with you, then take them. But if they are like the weed in your plant, it can. Ooh, I need to post Joe Osteen video on this. He was talking about the whole monkey theory. I'm not going to get into it. I have to come back and post that video. But you want to make sure that you don't have weeds inside of your personal plant. The seeds that you've planted, right? Faith of mustard seed. The seeds that you've planted that are to be watered and grown, you got to make sure you don't have weeds inside of there, because if you do, it's going to stunt your growth and then it's going to spread. So you've already met a tribe of people, and maybe just have to let go of some of these old tribes, these old peoples, these old concepts, so that you can have new things come into your life. There's going to be about 3 or 4 people that are in your life currently, that because you're shifting and changing, they are also going to shift and change by default. And it's because you have this new demeanor of, not that they're not important, but they see that you're so focused on yourself that it makes them focus on their self to make the changes so they can be in the space that you're in. It's an inspiration, right? It's if you've been in my magic words class, it's called the Forrest Gump effect. But you got to come to my magic words class. Bless you. You've got to be in my magic words class to get that if you don't already know, right? So let's see what it says. This could be the one. This card signals that you've already met the person also, or people, right, that you seek. Perhaps you're already in a relationship with them. The romance angels sent you this card because it seems that you're not recognizing or enjoying the full potential of these people and the relationship that they have to offer you. Bless you. Sometimes you may overlook someone who's meant for you because you have a different idea of what these people should look like and what they should act like. Take a moment to consider who these people may be. The first person to come to mind is probably the one, right? Next, invite the romance angels into your dreams as you're going to bed. Ask them to give you very clear information about these people. All right. And for some of you, ask them to give you clear information about your romantic partner. For some of you, either in your present relationship or a future one. During sleep, you're more open to angelic guidance, right? And the reason why is because when we're awake, messages will come to us and we'll be like, I wonder if that's really in your subconscious, it's just gonna come. Period. All right. When you awaken, you may not remember your dreams, but you will have a clear sense of romance, and partnership, right? Take any action you feel called to based on your inner guidance, even if it seems unrelated to your love life, right? Because again, there's going to be other people, and you know, I have to be very mindful and very careful when I say love life, because people automatically think romantic relationship, and I need you to think outside the box, because although I am speaking on romantic relationships at times, I mean in relationships, period, across the board, family, friends, coworkers, and romantic mate. That is your true love life. That is your with your family, friends. You love your family, you love your friends. You know, some of loving what you do. I'm not going to say coworkers, but I'm going to say loving what you do, right? And then with your romantic mate. But then when we say, oh, your love life, we automatically just think what? What do we automatically think? Romantic partner, right? So, you know, take your mindset. If your life is not if your life is balanced with your romantic partner, but it's not balanced with your family and your friends, or you're doing what you love, then that means your love life is not balanced. Okay. Um Trust that the angels are leading you toward the one you desire, or those that you desire to be around. And the other card is true love. Love what you do what you love. Like, simply, just love what you do and do what you love. Point blank. Um, okay, I'm going to go to the Psychic Tarot deck real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. So, one of the things that I love about this particular deck is, for one, I shared it with friends. Um, it's one of the few decks that I have that's actually tarot and oracle. Okay. Let's see what it says. Fulfillment of wishes. Oh, baby. So if you watching this, it's the fulfillment of wishes. Now remember, of witches. Fulfillment of wishes, I guess, if you're a witch. But also fulfillment of wishes, right? So remember back here, I talked about having the altar, right? That, you know, to me, it's just the things that I want to remember that are special to me. But some people call this an altar because it's a remembrance. Remember, whatever altar you make, please make sure that you put something on there that is about you, right? That's for you. Not just, I'm putting this here because I want this to look pretty, or I want to, like, put something about you on there. Put something that's about you, right? Because you have to pay homage and celebrate yourself, not just others. All right, fulfillment of wishes. And if you want to look up, I encourage you to look up angel number 9 later for additional meanings. This card being one, if not the most positive of the minor arcana cards, represents emotional satisfaction, contentment, and enjoyment. And if you remember when we started off at the very beginning, what did we say? Create boundaries, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and sexual was the card. Oh, let me get up there. Can I get it? There we go. That was the card. And then we also had the other card, learn the lesson and move forward, right? That's how we let go, is we learn the lesson and we move forward. What's on the other side? Learn the lesson and also create a solution, right? All right. It says, your wishes are coming true. Are you ready? Happiness, success, good health, completion, and accomplishment of your dreams and goals are in the palm of your hand. You just got to take action, right? The things that you prayed, meditated, asked for, they're here. You just have to take the action. What is it? Faith without works or something? I'm going to have to figure that out. All right. This card acts as a reminder to hold on to the beneficial feelings from accepting and receiving. And it has it italicized, accepting and receiving. Whoo. I just had a conversation with someone last week, and I said, you know, the reason why I receive things that are coming from your heart, we're not talking about receiving bull, right? The things that you give that I receive from you, I receive it from your heart. I take that because when I give something to you from my heart, I want you to also receive, right? And it should never feel forced. It should never feel heavy, right? It should always feel welcomed and light. And so for those that have a challenging time receiving, right? Because this says accepting and receiving. If you can't accept and receive from others because you don't trust your discernment to make the right choice to accept and receive from the right people, then how are you going to be able to identify what to accept and receive when God sends you something? How are you going to be able to identify that? The accepting and receiving has to be in all of the areas. And if there's confusion in the areas of accepting and receiving, then there needs to be clarification with communication, right? With all of your nouns. What are your nouns? Person, place, thing, or situation, right? Let me read that last sentence again. This card acts as a reminder to hold on to the beneficial feelings from accepting and receiving what you have asked or strive for. Know that these will assist you in the future when you may need inspiration and positive energy. This is the right time to heal those past memories that have been holding you hostage. Forgive others and yourself so that your wishes, desires, and goals have a clear, unobstructed path to your heart, soul, and life. And again, holding yourself hostage to your past is the worst thing that you could do to yourself. It's better for you to release yourself from being a hostage, because if you hold yourself hostage to your past, other people are going to see it. When we talk about vulnerability, other people see that you are holding yourself hostage to your past, so they hold you hostage. And it's like, hey, Rowena, you're shedding. That was who is Bette Midler used to say that in this one movie. I can't remember what it is, but this lady Rowena, she was always trying to, get at Bette Midler in the movie, and she wanted her life and wanted things from her, and she tried to betray Bette Midler, but every time this woman did something, she left a shed. Her hair would be shedding everywhere, and she would, see the hair. And so one day Bette Midler was like, Rowena just thought she was winning. She thought she was winning, baby. And Bette Midler was like, Rowena, you're shedding. And she held up a piece of her hair. In other words, indicating, I know what you're about. I know what you're doing, but I'm not going to let you destroy or upset my peace. I have all the evidence that I need. What I prayed, meditated, and asked for has revealed itself. So now I have that, what they call that in the tarot deck, the Tower card moment, where bam, everything is revealed, everything's out in the open. I can see it, and now I can make clear decisions and clear choices. That's the place that you in. You want to faith it? You need to make a space so that you can make clear decisions and clear choices. This is what you need to do. I love you guys. I hope that you receive and accept today's message with well intent love for your highest good. Take time today, if you have not, take some time today and say, am I living in my purpose, or am I doing my purpose for others? When you are living in your purpose, you are feeding them. But when you're not leading in your purpose, they are feeding you. And then once there's nobody there to feed you, you starve. So we're not doing that. That's why I say my purpose is to help others, right? My purpose is to serve others. Not serving others is my purpose. There's a difference between I'm feeding you and I'm getting fed. So feed, don't get fed. I love you guys. Be awesome. Be amazing. Have a wonderful day today. Make sure that you compliment at least 10 people a day, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know whose vibration you can raise up. And you never know what door of opportunity you can open up by simply paying a compliment. I'm going to be working on, you got to hit me in this, hit me down here on the inbox or whatever and say, Tina, I want to be in your magic words class. Girl, you have not put it up on your website yet. I need to get up there. You've already done 2 classes. The people that were in the classes told me that your classes are wonderful and I need to be in that class, right? And then the people that were in the class is like, where's part 2? You said 1 week and my time is almost up. So I'm going to get started on part 2. Make sure that you go onto my website, bookwithtina.com, book your one-on-one sessions, book my classes, and let's see what I can do to help you. I'm here to feed you. If you want to eat, I'm here to feed you, right? But it's up to you to make the plate. I love you guys. Heart emojis to the world. Be wonderful, be awesome, be amazing. Take time for yourself. Make sure that you are faithing it and make sure that you are believing in yourself first, so that when you go to God or your higher power, He can answer or she can answer your calls. I love you.